What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope, as always, everyone is having a fantastic day. Boys and gals, happy New Year's Eve. What a year it has been for crypto, right? From groundbreaking price movements to jaw-breaking or jaw-dropping advancements like the ETFs and the PulseChain ecosystem and all of the good stuff that did happen in 2024, because it's been really nothing short of extraordinary, folks. But of course, there's always a twist. Uncertainty still reigns, and it is still reigning supreme right now, folks. Prices are still fluctuating like wild. SEC is keeping us guessing, and 2025 is literally right around the corner. So if we can expect any of the other previous cycles to have happened like they have in the past, well, we might be in for something absolutely amazing in store for us for 2025. So let me say hello to some beautiful people who have shown up in the chat real quick. I hope everyone, as always, is having a fantastic day, boys and gals. I see the chat happening real quick on the screen right now. Bong bong, what's up, what's up? These fake hexagons, yep. Absolutely, yeah. I'm just trying out a couple of different settings real fast. So let me just get the normal chat going real quick. Give me 1 second here. I pulled up the whole thing. Interesting. All right. Live chat. Okay, cool. So it's this one right here that I need to be adjusting. Ah, gotcha. Okay, cool. Anyways, I'm getting distracted real quick, folks. Let me just pull up a couple of chats in the people who have shown up to the stream real fast. We got Nate Andrews in the house. DJ and Dougie, what's up? These fake hexagons are trying to FUD us out of our bag. Stay strong. Happy New Year, GM ATX. What's up, everybody? Guys, 2024 has been a wild ride. It has tested out resilience, perseverance, and of course, it has led to some innovations as well. Bitcoin breaking through its psychological barriers, passing the 100,000 mile threshold. Ethereum continuing its climb up, but still haven't quite yet gotten broken out of it yet. And again, PulseChain got some crazy advancements up in March. We saw some normal pullbacks that do happen. Then the SEC charges that came about, all of the good stuff and all the craziness. And just recently, the, Interpol most wanted, right? So hopefully we get some good news. Obviously, today would kind of be that 60-day mark on that one to see if we get some motion to dismiss in the RH ecosystem. I don't think it's going to happen. Clearly, obviously, it hasn't happened yet at this point in time. It's now, December 31st. We got a few hours remaining for it to really take place, but I don't think it's going to happen, right? So let's just kind of do a quick little recap as to what went down in 2024. Because, guys, crypto keeps moving forward no matter what, right? It's proving its value, even under pressure, and it has been tested multiple times, right? And if y'all have made it this far, you're not just lucky, guys. You really aren't. You're part of one of the most transformative financial movements in history. Give yourself a pat on the back. For real on that one. That's an impressive feat, folks. Because it has been filled with, a whole bunch of other craziness that has happened, from uncertainty to, we saw some price action where you can see 2-3x in the span of just 10 to 11 days. It happens extremely quickly. And of course, prices never go in a straight line, do they? Oh, no. There are going to be some spikes. There's going to be some pullbacks. And guys, those dips, they have you leaving, staring at your portfolio thinking, what's next? What's happening next, right? And again, the always, I wish I would have, I wish I could have, I wish I had. And I don't want y'all to be left with that feeling, but the what's next is we add in the SEC uncertainty, unpredictability. And guys, it's a recipe for sleepless nights. Hold the line. 100% is what we are saying right here, guys. You have made it this far already. One of the mantras that we started hearing prior to PulseChain launching, or maybe right when PulseChain launched, and I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but it was survive until 25, right? And that truly meant just let the cycles play out, continue to do whatever you can, whether it be packing your bags even more to just be ready for 2025 when the time comes, or just sticking it out and just surviving all the volatility that came with 2024. So that was one of those things that has been a mantra for quite some time. Survive until 25, right? Stay alive until 25. Whatever mantra it was, keep yourself afloat, because guys, at the end of the day, if things play out like they have in the past, we are about to approach what is known as the banana zone, where things just go freaking moon real fast, and it happens quick, y'all. It happens really, really fast. We're gonna be checking out some charts and everything as well, right? We're gonna be checking out some items that happened over the year of 2024. But here's the biggest thing about all this as well, guys. Uncertainty, while it's looming over all of us right now, we don't know what's in store for the future, whether it be in crypto or anything. It is not your enemy. It's actually an ecosystem's way of weeding out the unprepared, those who fail to move forward, those who fail to look past, because those who can thrive and embrace uncertainty, folks. They see the dips as opportunities, the fear as a chance to strengthen their resolve that much more. You've heard Warren Buffett say, buy when there's blood in the streets. And guys, there's been blood in the streets, right? One of the biggest lies that I've ever heard is it's not that simple. That's one of the biggest lies, right? Because if you think about it, the truth is, it is that simple. The reality is, it's not that easy, right? The simple part is have a plan. The hard part about that, sticking to it when the market tries to scare you out of it. And that's really what it comes down to, which is why we talk about the 5 P's of proper preparation, preventing poor performance. It allows you to make sure that you have the mindset ready to go to act when necessary and not let your emotions get the best of you. Because when we are going into massive euphoria, which is not too far away, there is when you go into a no sleep season. You constantly refresh the page, you constantly refresh the portfolio, you constantly refresh the price, and you just keep looking at like a 1-minute chart of everything happening just because you can't get enough dopamine at that time. Whether it be the people around you, the community, the every little part of everything, when dopamine is starting to interact with everybody. For one, those are also usually top signals. Let's just be clear about that. But for two, those are actually those natural items that when emotions take over, they can actually end up controlling way more than anyone can actually anticipate, right? So, of course, when we dive into the PulseChain ecosystem, right? Well, it's like looking at them real quick, right? Yeah, okay, cool. That's awesome, man. Prospector says I bought low, so I'm still up 30% even with all this FUD. Absolutely. What's up, bro? Hope all is well. Good to see you streaming. Hit the like, folks. Yeah, guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you enjoy the crypto content, of course, if you enjoy the RH ecosystem and diving into what's going on in the overall landscape, absolutely incredible. Oh my goodness. He wants to be an influencer so bad. I don't know who you're talking about, but you know, we're here, we're streaming, we're having fun. So again, guys, PulseChain is still filled with a lot of uncertainty, but guys, it's got projects like PulseChain with PulseX, and we got products in the RH ecosystem like Hex, where you actually get to earn trustless yield on your assets, that additional Hex you can get. So can Hex reach $1? I'd have my wife in here. Just it's all good. I just hear her talking real quick. One sec. Okay, love you. But yeah, guys, it's one of those things that, you know, I'm curious to see what we actually end up doing. Let me see if I can change one item on the screen real fast. Give me 1 second, because I actually want to adjust something real fast if I can. And wonder how this looks if I end up doing that. All right, I'll come back around to that. I'll figure that out whenever I have some of my own time or whatever. Whenever I have some me time to play around with some things on here. But yeah, guys, this is kind of what, I just wanted to do a quick little stream. I wanted to have some fun. I wanted to look at some charts with everyone today. I wanted to, wish everyone an incredible New Year's. You've survived 24 at this point in time. You've gotten through the market of 2024, the ups, the downs, the volatility, the attacks, the FUD. And guys, we really aren't too far away from 25 at this point in time either. You know what I mean? So this is where I'm really looking at what's potentially possible, what has happened all the time, every single time in the past, and what we're actually looking, could be potentially forward in the future as well. So let's pull this up real quick. Let me get some screens adjusted on my end. 1 second while I get some stuff adjusted over here. And screen share. All right. So this is actually the Bitcoin chart for the year. It is already ticked over on the daily chart as well. So when I'm looking at this particular item right now, it is 00010, I guess 0010 UTC right now. So the chart is finally ticked over. We can close the charts off of 2024. We are now entering 2025 right now. As a matter of fact, you can see that first candle start to show itself already. Whoops, there we go. Right there. You can see that little bitty candle right there starting to show itself. So again, it's literally started already live on stream, as you can see. But here's the funny part is, as you look at all of these different items, this is Bitcoin, of course, as you can tell just by the chart from looking at it, going all the way down from when it was, $1 and $5 and $10, all the way back to where it actually ended up reaching all the way up to $100,000 as well. So you can actually see we got 2 green followed by red, 3 green followed by red, 3 green followed by red. We got 3 green coming up is my guess, okay? So this is just my guess, but if you just look at the history in the past of what has happened already, when you actually get past these particular items in here, you get a massive bull run in 2013. That was incredibly bullish, followed by some bear market time, followed by the return, some accumulation, followed by 2017, massive bull run once again, followed by a bear market, followed by the return and some accumulation, followed by the bull market, 2021, and now you actually got the red in 2022, followed by some green. And folks, my anticipation is we actually end up getting a pretty bullish 2025. So I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to stream today on this one. I just hear the dogs barking. I got we already got the fireworks and all that happening as well, so we'll see if I end up having to cut the stream short or not on that one. We'll end up taking a little peeky week over there. But as again, I'm looking at these charts right now, folks, these are pretty darn bullish charts whenever I'm seeing them. Again, this is Ethereum. You can see we got Ethereum closing green for the year, right? So we actually ended up closing green for the year on this one, up 46% on the year for Ethereum. Again, Bitcoin was up roughly, if I want to get back correctly over here, roughly about 21% over on the year over here. Again, the previous year was 155%. So we're looking pretty darn good. Oh, this is 120%. My apology. I didn't see the one right there. This is a 120% move overall to see that move, to see what actually ended up happening. So pretty darn bullish. And Ethereum tends to lag behind, right? I've pulled this up already on the charts previously, but when you look at the Ethereum returns for the monthly returns, Ethereum does pretty darn good in January. So this is where we're actually seeing on the bull market years how Ethereum has performed. Again, I'm looking at Ethereum because it kind of is the beginner of the altcoin market to check actually how it is going. And this is why I don't think we've actually reached the top either, right? Because if I actually pull this up and look at the Bitcoin dominance over here for a quick second, this is kind of what the market's looking like. Again, we haven't even gotten close to the bottom where I do anticipate you're going to see the Bitcoin dominance coming down and testing out around this 40% Bitcoin dominance like it's been in the past, right? If you look at the 2017, 2021, and even 2025 bull market run right here, you can kind of see this is where I can end up kind of getting a move happening, right? Like, I can't quite get it because it's on the magnet right now for whatever reason, and I can't get it off yet. Anyways, I can't get that switched, but y'all kind of get the idea right here, right? So I'll just kind of get this adjusted, I guess. There you go. So this is where I'm anticipating we're gonna see some pretty interesting stuff start to happen, right? This is where you can see we haven't really gotten crazy with it. We've retested out some of these numbers up here, but yeah, we haven't really broken out of this trend line that we've been in all the way back here to even 2017. And so as we're on this trend, we got back up, we got pretty darn close of testing it. We fell back down. We're right in this range right now, right here. I anticipate Bitcoin dominance going all the way down and retesting out the 40% zone. That is usually where I will actually end up saying we are pretty damn close to the top at that point in time, folks. That's my particular number. That's a chart that I'm looking at whenever I'm seeing like how the overall market is performing right now. So I don't think we are actually that close to it. Now, PulseChain, looking at it from the year mark, again, we've had a pretty crazy year, right? Again, we were here in 2013 or 2023. We had a green year, 2024. We did get as high as always, almost up to about, 2-3x above SAC at this point in time, followed by a nice red candle from multiple reasons as well, right? That was from SEC, that was from the kill tweet, that was from Interpol, that was from all these different things overall. But yeah, we're bouncing off this 786 right here from the actual chart, so we're gonna see what it actually ends up looking like. Again, this is on the year, so I can just kind of see how it ended up kind of closing out there. But on the daily, whenever I pull this particular chart up right now, you can see we are retesting out the 786 range right here. So again, strong support would be around this time. If it does end up dipping, these are the areas I would see it dip down to. Again, if I'm looking to actually see if we're actually going to start being bullish overall in the PulseChain ecosystem, what I'm really looking for is us to start making higher highs. So ideally, we want to start breaking above this zone right here. So 4064, 4065, somewhere in this zone would be kind of my bullish number. So I'd actually want to see us up here in this range again. Again, what's even crazier about this is there was a bigger sell-off from the Interpol most wanted day right here, this particular red candle day that you're seeing, than there was on the actual SEC news about RH, because the SEC news actually happened on July 23rd of 2024, right? So if I just pull this particular chart up, you can see the overall time frame in here. So it's July 23rd, if I recall correctly. We were in this range, and then you got some dip. So yeah, there was a dip, which, got us down roughly about 38% in the span of 42 days. But the Interpol, damn near just this one candle alone, was a 42% dip in a day. People saw that news, and I don't know if it's just new people in the market or a whole bunch of people bought in whenever the green candles are pumping, all back here in this little range and this range up here, and they just panic sold down here. But there was a bigger dip that particular day than there was even for the SEC news. So yeah, we're seeing some recovery right now, but ideally, for me to start getting bullish on this one for the ecosystem, I'd really want to start seeing the pump up above the 4065 range, somewhere in that range. Start making a higher high. We could even come back down, higher high. Whoops, we can come back down, make some higher lows situation, continue pump back up, higher high, higher low. You kind of continue this little pattern right here. We end up doing that. That's a more bullish structure than what I'm seeing right now. Otherwise, it's just more or less a recovery time, some accumulation. We're going to play here around this pattern, but we are holding strong on the 786 fib level right now. So interesting to actually end up seeing. Now again, because of the charts, they're all very similar, right? I can look at the PulseX chart, I can look at the PulseChain chart, I can look at the Hex chart, and I can look at them all as well. Whenever I'm seeing all of these charts, we're just kind of seeing the similar thing play out for every single one. So yeah, guys, this is just kind of what I'm checking out. Again, in order for me to really start being bullish, we've already kind of started forming that higher low situation. We got one low here, we got a higher low here. I'd really like to see us pump above the 4044, 4045, somewhere in this range, make that higher high situation, come back, higher low, higher high, so on and so forth, and keep that little pump continuing, kind of like you see in the past, right? When we start doing these structures right here, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, those are very bullish structures. And then you end up getting, some crazy news, some little, people are panicking, people are selling, whatever the case may be. But again, this one day alone was a 32% day, which is wild to say, because again, if you go back to July of 2024, July 23rd of 2024, you can see we were on a pretty good pump in the ecosystem, right? At that point in time, it was on a pretty good tear. We had a little dip before, we were finally starting to recover, and this is what I was talking about. I'm seeing a chart pattern play out like this, where we aren't making higher highs, we're actually making lower highs and then lower lows. And again, once again, that's very bearish if I'm looking at a chart like that. So if I am wanting to see some bullish structure, I'm wanting it to go the other way, where we actually start making the higher high, higher low situation. But anyways, this is July 23rd. This is the SEC news, and you can see it actually took roughly about that 42 days for the whole dip to happen. There was a little point in time where it almost had a floor, it fell below, it couldn't hold support, and then actually broke down and hit pretty much the previous all-time low for situation for the price. And again, if you actually bought that dip, you're up quite, you're up still at that point in time. I think, someone in chat just moments ago said they had been buying the dip, or they've been being able to accumulate. And even if you had just bought the dip down here, you're still up roughly about 2.5 extra money. So pretty darn good just buying that dip. Or you get the ability to just lower your dollar cost average as well, because there's plenty of people that heck haven't even heard about it since sacrifice. They haven't touched it, they haven't looked at it, they haven't done anything with it, and it got pretty darn close to sack right here. It kind of touched it for a brief moment back in March. This is kind of that year in review right here situation, and then we saw that red dip come. And this kind of comes from like the kill tweet, my personal opinion. People were kind of uncertain, not really sure what was going on. There was a whole bunch of news spreading out. That was the RH kill tweet that I've kind of talked about on stream multiple times already in the past. But you can just kind of see that was March all the way up until roughly about July. We started seeing that little life again. We started breaking the higher high situation. And then, of course, we get the SEC news. And then once again, a little dip. We start seeing some pumps happen here. And then once again, we got the Interpol news. So it's like we've been fighting over here for the PulseChain ecosystem just in 2024, y'all. This has been a pretty crazy time for sure, just looking at the ecosystem right there. Looking at the hex chart once again, they're all gonna look very freaking similar. Again, I can pull up this chart and they look the same, right? Pull up this chart, it looks the same. It's kind of all because they're all correlated through liquidity. So whenever one token does well, it tends to also have an effect on the other tokens also doing well. So ideally, guys, we just want to be holding particular prices, right? I was saying with the Patreon group of mine, I would be seeing probably a low around a penny. That would be a good psychological level to be testing and holding and supporting around that range. Obviously, we just got to see how it's all going to end up playing out at this point in time. But yeah, we're going to see if we can start bouncing out and actually get bullish once again, break over this higher high situation, break above the 2 cent range once again, get us even back to 2.1, and then come back down, go back above, go back down, go back above. Again, very bullish structure would be formed in that situation. That's what I'm looking to see. Hopefully that can come with possibly some news and announcements of the SEC case getting a dismissal, right? And that would kind of allow people to start pumping at that point in time and leading us into 2025 with a nice green candle, folks. We got a lot going on though. We got a lot going on in crypto because again, Ethereum, just looking at this particular chart real fast, guys, Ethereum hasn't really performed anything crazy yet, right? Just looking at these charts right now. Whoops. Just looking at these charts right now, this is kind of where I'm saying, like, we haven't even hit the previous all-time high of Ethereum, right? If you actually pull this up on the monthly real quick, we haven't even hit the previous all-time high, so we still have plenty to go on Ethereum. It is my anticipation overall as well. So when I'm looking at these particular items, I am kind of comparing again, just maybe Bitcoin against Ethereum and just kind of seeing how these particular charts are doing, right? I thought I had that chart saved. BTC ETH. Maybe I didn't. BTC ETH. Maybe I did ETH BTC. Not really sure exactly how I had it. Yeah, I think that's how I did it. ETH BTC. Okay. Cool. So this is kind of what I'm looking at as well, right? I'm anticipating Bitcoin to reach somewhere in the ballpark of about $242,000, right? $240,000 per Bitcoin. I've said it before, if you just kind of go based on where the ratio is right now today on this one, which is putting it around 0.03 per Ethereum per Bitcoin, right? And so if Bitcoin reaches that 240K range, and you multiply that by 0.03572, you get Bitcoin, or you get Ethereum roughly around $8,500. Again, I anticipate that we actually end up seeing Ethereum all the way back in this range and echelon up here, because Ethereum tends to start outperforming whenever it's actually Bitcoin, or whenever it's actually the bull market year. So you can see what happened in the past, 2016, was kind of the, you know, Bitcoin outperformed Ethereum. 2017, Ethereum massively outperformed Bitcoin at that point in time, and just massively outperformed it, right? Same thing happened. You get the little tops, you get the double tops, all that good stuff over here. You get 2020 and 2021, right? Ethereum and Bitcoin kind of went sideways for a little while, all the way up until roughly about January of 2021. And then it really started just outperforming Bitcoin once again. So yes, if Ethereum was to stay here in this range, Ethereum would be priced around $8,500. I do see Ethereum actually pumping all the way back up into the upper range up here, possibly even breaking previous all-time high, which would be very bullish in the ecosystem, right? If you actually got to see 0.15 Ethereum, to give you a kind of a context as to what that would end up looking like, if you saw 240,000 Bitcoin and you got a 0.15 ETH ratio, that would actually put Ethereum at $36,000, boys and gals. Pretty damn bullish, if you ask me. So that's where I'm actually seeing, you know, the charts kind of show me what's potentially possible. Again, even just getting back up into this range up here, even into the 0.1 range, or 0.1 range for ETH BTC ratio. And again, Bitcoin reaching and topping around 240, that would also put Ethereum around 24,000. So pretty big numbers in store ahead, guys. This is where I'm looking at right now, because even with the numbers as we sit, it's roughly around $3,300 for the year, for Ethereum right now. And looking at it again, just checking it out for the year at this point in time, the 12-month range, we did just recently get that close for the 12-month range, and it closed right at 33.33 or 33.31, right? So that was actually the close of Ethereum right here. So we're gonna end up seeing what can actually end up happening. Maybe I can just refresh. Oh, I did not do that at all. Cool. Yeah, maybe I can just look at it right here, but boom, we haven't quite broken out. And I do anticipate, folks, we're going to start seeing some bullish movement as well, especially if you start looking at total 2 and total 3, right? Looking at these particular charts and seeing what could be potentially possible as well. Why are these charts doing this right now? 1 second, y'all. All right, cool. And I'll just probably hide everything real quick. All right, cool. So this is the total 2 right now, right? This is basically excluding Bitcoin. We actually had a moment in time where we actually started breaking out above the previous yearly close at this point in time, right? So right here, it was roughly about 1.71 trillion, and we ended up at 1.64 trillion over here. So we just quite missed breaking out of that previous yearly high at this point in time. However, we're getting pretty darn close, guys, and this is where you're gonna start seeing these numbers, you know, get pretty darn bullish as well, right? Again, I see the overall crypto, or the overall crypto market excluding Bitcoin, reaching around $6 trillion this cycle. So we're just gonna have to see how that all plays out as well. Once again, we have the other, we have the total 3. Again, this is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum now. For this one, we did actually break its little high over here. So it's at a high of roughly about 1.1 trillion, and this was actually 1.16 trillion. So we're moving forward, guys. It is a slow step process in the beginning, but once this actually starts taking off, I anticipate we're going to see some pretty darn crazy things as well. Usually it's about 18 months after the Bitcoin halving to actually see these tops. So to kind of give you an idea, here was the second halving. 18 or 17 months went by over here. Boom, we hit the top in January of 2018. Again, this is on the 12-month. Let me just put this on the monthly to make it a little bit easier to see. And all right, cool. All right, so there we go. Looking at these actual charts real quick to make it a little bit easier to see. So bam, we end up getting the second halving. We end up getting 17 months after that, and we end up hitting the top. Third halving was over here. 18 months after the halving, we actually ended up getting the top. That was when the top was in at that point in time, which is roughly around November of 2021. Again, there was a previous top in May. We already saw that. That was a double top cycle as well. The pandemic definitely had a lot going on at that point, so it kind of like stifled the movement, in my opinion, at that point in time. So I think we end up seeing something more so toward the 2017 line, but we'll see how that all ends up shaping out. And then also we end up seeing us right here. This is where we currently are. We have the halving in April or May, April of 2024, and the 17 months after puts us around September, to October of 2025. It's kind of my guess as to where the actual top of the market's going to be. I'm going to be checking out all of these different factors, though. This is not just like a one thing meets all situation. I'm going to be checking them all out. But again, you should start taking profits, folks, roughly around this time as well, right? This is when you start looking at everything as well. You start looking at the take profit all the way up until the end of the cycle. I have a whole profit taking strategy that I went through in depth and details with all of my Patreon, but to keep it simple, folks, when the market starts right here and we actually start seeing some pump between January to May, start taking some profits, whether that be a small percentage because we want to save some for later, 5% or 10%. You get into the middle phase, you get into that, you know, April to September timeframe, April to July, somewhere in this little range over here. Then you start taking a little bit more profit, right? That's that 5-10% along the way, or that's that 10-15%. Then you get into the end phase, which is again that kind of like July all the way up until September, October timeframe, and you just start moving that number up 20-25% if you really want to get aggressive with it. And then that way, at the end of it all, you've taken profit all along the road, and yeah, at the end of it, you can watch it go all the way back down and not have to worry about what's gonna happen next or whatever the case may be, right? Because round tripping sucks, guys. I'm saying that from personal experience. So hopefully that gives everyone some sort of clarity as to what I see happening. A little recap into 2024. We had the ETFs launch, which by the way has been the best ETF launch period. It's in history, right? BlackRock is the best ETF launch for the ETF as well. Cool. All right, cool. And yeah, guys, that's kind of what I'm seeing real quick. We hit, you know, and then we hit Bitcoin's reaching a milestone of $100,000. Kind of my opinion, just getting started on where that milestone actually ends up going and where it stops at. Again, I think we end up reaching that $250,000 or slightly under, right? $250,000 is going to be that psychological threshold that a lot of people are going to be calling for. Slash, once they start getting closer into the 200,000, $1 million Bitcoin, right? You're going to be hearing that quite a bit as well. So yeah, I mean, that's just one of those items to keep that in mind, because guys, that's the cycle. Prices are going to pump. FOMO is going to happen. People FOMO in whenever there's green candles, and then prices dip. People sell in fear. They, you know, it's the same cycle, but the market truly teaches and rewards those who are patient. It helps to learn to control your emotions. My lesson and way of learning how to control my emotion was actually learning how to stake hex, thinking long term, letting it earn hex for me every single day. That helped my mindset shift. Whatever the mindset shift is that you need to go through, definitely go through it. But in the past, I was one of those people who would actually trade these sell the news, buy the news, sell the rumor, all this good stuff, right? I would literally be trading. If I thought, you know, some prices were going to go lower, I would sell entire positions, because you do this a couple of times with small positions, you have wins, you get bigger and bigger and bigger in those positions that you do. And what you end up doing is eventually you just say, you know what, I can sell my whole bag. I can buy back in 20% more if it just dips down, you know, 20% dip, and I can just buy back in with that dip, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually the price would just leave you behind. That's just something that is a lesson I had to learn. I got to experience that with Cardano for sure. But this is just part of the whole trading process. And again, while you can be successful during the times when the market is in a consolidation phase, like it kind of is right now, eventually that bull market comes and it just melts your face off. And when the prices pump too fast, you end up trying to chase the pump. You buy back in at a higher position. You typically see the dip come. You try to sell back thinking I can sell back more. It pumps even further and it just keeps on escaping you. So yeah, I really don't want to see anyone get stuck in that position. But absolutely is a possibility, folks. It's one of those things that can in fact happen. Let's go. Big up, big up. Appreciate that. It is one of those things that can in fact happen as well. You know, definitely something. And most importantly, guys, don't put a target on your back by flaunting your gains. Like, right, like keep it pretty easy and obvious on that one. Privacy is in fact power overall. While it's nice to have mad gains, until that money either gets put into your bank account, I'm not a fan of showing friends, family, significant others, or anything like that, because, you know, if they aren't in this game with you and you aren't in the trenches with you and have gone through the emotional toll that it actually took on you to be in this position right now, when you see the gains, you want to share it with everyone, and that's, you know, a natural reaction as well. But try to keep that close to your chest at that point in time. If you know, have some ability, put some of that into the bank, and then you can say, hey, I got this money in the bank, you know, and they don't have to know you got a, you know, entire position over here as well, because then you're just going to have someone harping on your shoulder telling you to sell, another person whispering in your ear, and maybe you should sell. I don't know. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not there to know what's going on in your particular life, but 2025 is absolutely shaping up to be a normal Bitcoin, or not normal Bitcoin, but a normal bull market year. Definitely start taking profits methodically, 5% here, 10% there. You know, you can use things to, you know, put your profits to work for you as well. And obviously try to avoid centralized exchanges by holding assets over there. I know a lot of people, unfortunately, during bull markets, they want to cash out, which is perfectly fine, but you cash out and then you hold a position on a centralized exchange to earn like a 5% fee on your USDC or something like that. Just something so stupid. Then they go down, they go out of business. You lost all that money, all that capital. It's just not worth it for the money that you're being made. You could definitely put money in your bank, for example, and put it in bonds or something, treasury bonds, if you want to earn 5%. I don't know. I'm not a financial advisor by any means, but guys, I'll leave this with you here. You know, continue to persevere. It's always been survive until 25. We're literally just hours away from 25 at this point in time. If you're already, you know, some people around the world are already in 2025 as well. And, you know, yeah, exactly. Don't you agree? We are quite a few doubles away before you consider selling small percent. You know, at this point in time, it's always been take profit along the way, right? So like, if you had a position, for example, $10,000. Let's just say you had a position of $10,000 in your portfolio, and you see it 3x, right? And that's now a $30,000 portfolio. It doesn't hurt. And again, like, everyone's gonna have to control whatever they do at this point in time. But it doesn't hurt to go ahead and just possibly take a 5% profit on it. Now, this is where people get stuck. By taking profit, you end up selling a portion of your tokens. And then they say, well, if I had held those tokens, it would have been this. Right? And that's greed coming in right at you, right in your face, and you don't even realize it. So, yes, by taking a small portion of profit, one, you could either buy back when it dips if you want to, just FYI on that one. Or you can actually start putting that money to the side and learning to take profit along the way, because it becomes infinitely harder to take profits as prices keep going up. Because if you see that 10,000 now turn into 100,000, for example, and you've never taken profit, you're gonna just be tempted to say, why would I take profit now? I haven't taken profit this whole time. I could just wait until it's now a 2x higher from here. Now it's $200,000, and then I'll take profit. Then it reaches 200,000, and you run through the same thing. Well, why would I take a 200,000, especially depending upon how fast it goes, right? Like, if you're seeing things fly, like it's possible to do, especially in the first few months of the year of 2025, right? Like, let's just say you see a 10x within the span of 10 days, right? Or even a month. I'll even say a month. You see a 10x in the span of a month. You're like, damn, that was quick. I just 10x my money in a month. Imagine just waiting another month to 10x again. That'll be 100x my money, or just even a 2x from here. It's very easy to get caught in the situation where you're just like, or you would have $30,000. You take 5% profit. That's $1,500 in profit that you've taken. That leaves you still roughly about 28,500. That 28,500 now sees a 2x at that point in time, right? Then you're now at 57,000. Once again, take the 5% profit. Now you're looking at a difference of what, $3,000 something in there, plus your additional 1,500 that you've already taken, and you still have a bag size of $55,000 at that point. Then you see another 2x from there at that point in time, right? Like, it doesn't get too crazy with it, but again, you're taking a very small percentage of profit, and you're just allowing yourself the ability to just teach yourself to start taking profit. Just kind of my 2 cents over here, right? Just to kind of share a little bit about some of the profit taking ability. Happy New Year to you as well. As above, so below. I'm still stacking dips. Lol, dude, it's a great time to be stacking the dips, right? Like when the prices are dipping down, that is absolutely the opportunity to be stacking the coins as much as you can. Thanks for all the great live streams. Appreciate you as well, Prospector in the house. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of like a little bit about it, right? And then like after a certain point in time, you will have taken out, you know, profit. We'll say $10,000 in profit, which is your initial capital. Maybe you put that back in the bank, right? Like, do you need that money in the bank? For some people, no. It's just going to be one of those things. Could you put that money to work for you in a different way? Yes. Because as you sit on profits, it becomes really, really, really difficult not to put that capital to work for you, especially being that we've almost trained ourselves to buy the dip, or to put the capital to work, or to do something with the money. And so let's just say you had that $30,000 portfolio, you took out 5%, that's $1,500 you're now sitting on. You could, in fact, just sit on the $1,500. For some people, it's going to be very difficult because they're going to hear about one new shiny token that just came out. They're going to hear about, you know, oh my God, this new thing's launching. I can put $1,500 in there. I have this capital sitting here that I just took profit on already. What if I could put that to work for me and go buy my new token? And that's what happens a lot of the times. You end up kind of like, instead of holding on to the profits that you've taken, you reinvest back into worse items, which is not ideal in that situation. So if you are going to take profit, right, have a plan of what you're going to do with the profits as you take it. But again, like say you get back your initial capital and you took profit 3 times over, or maybe 4 times over the time period of a double, right, in that situation. So you've got 8x at that point, but you've got back your initial capital. That's an absolutely incredible thing, right? Absolutely incredible thing, y'all. Because then you put that money either back in the bank or put it to work for you in a different way. But yeah, exactly. Round tripping's not fun. 100% agree on that one. What's happening, A-fam? Yeah, it's Happy New Year as always, guys. This is one of those deals that, you know, the next few months obviously have already been what we've been leading up to and preparing for really over the last 3 years, right? Like, if you've been around since even 2021, last 4 years at that point in time, if you've been around since that amount of time, then you might want to, you've already been preparing at this point for what is coming up next, right? But at the end of the day, you have to be the one to take action, right? So if you understand what I'm talking about, obviously leave a comment down below. If you've got a different plan in place of maybe how you plan on taking profits, share it with me. I'd love to hear some different ideas and strategies. Or if you just made it this far into the video, drop a Happy New Year in the comment with some hearts or celebration emojis, or, you know, survive until 2025, whatever you want down in the comments below. I always appreciate all the love and support for every one of y'all who have been helping me throughout this year. I mean, I think at this point in time, I'm up to roughly around 3,500 subscribers or something in that ballpark, which is always incredible to, you know, be reaching some of these numbers, in my opinion. Again, you start out the channel when you first start, and it seems like it's just a small little channel and all that good stuff. And heck, I am still very small, don't get me wrong, or twisted by any means. But it's cool to see 3,500 of y'all have, you know, found this information helpful. That you've loved the information, you've loved the channel, and you've subscribed to the channel as well. If this does resonate with you, then obviously you're welcome to continue to subscribe. Always share this out with everyone as well. 2024 is just the beginning. 2025 is going to be an absolute incredible year. I'm looking forward to being here with y'all, celebrating the highs, the lows. But again, reminder, folks, if you're feeling that euphoria and you're feeling everyone on the dopamine hit and you're feeling your Facebook feed get carried away, and you're seeing the screenshots and you're just getting caught up with all of it, your friends are hitting you up for crypto, it might be a good time to start taking some profits. Whatever your item is that's going to tell you to take profits, whether it be the portfolio adjustment, whether it be a normal strategy that you've already have in plan, or whether it just be the sentiment of the crowd, whatever that indicator is for you, have some plan in place. But absolutely take some profits off the table. Definitely the lifestyle chips, 10, 20, 30% of the portfolio. By 2025, taking that off the table completely, putting that money in the bank, letting it, you know, last you for the next few years, so that way you can make it until 2029, because ideally you aren't just here for this cycle and just walk away and be done with crypto. Ideally you're here until the next cycle as well, which is 2029 and possibly even further into 2033. And heck, if you're a 55 staker, 2037 type deal, right? That's where you can really start getting involved into the future as to what's potentially possible. And guys, we are just getting started in crypto. I think, you know, if you look at the overall amount of people who have been in crypto, you can walk on the street right now and talk to anyone about Bitcoin, which is probably one of the largest, obviously, which is the largest crypto out there. And many people still have zero idea about it. So you are incredibly early to be involved in this ecosystem, which is sitting in the ballpark of like $3 trillion right now, which could potentially be looking at 10 to 14 trillion by the end of this cycle, and then possibly even 100 trillion by the end of next cycle, where this is a massive opportunity for you, your family, and your financial future, which is here right in front of you for every single person who's available, guys. It is staring y'all in the face. My plan is to round trip again. Lol. Oh shit, that's funny. That was funny. Well, that was a good laugh. That was a good way to end that stream as well, guys. So much love to y'all. I want y'all to know that I you know, love, respect every single one of y'all. I want y'all to have a wonderful, happy new year. Celebrate wisely. Try not to get too crazy. Nothing good happens after midnight, but keep in touch. Peace.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities are on display. This is war with the